Welcome back to World 4 of Donkey Kong Country Returns on original hardware. Let's get right on into Rickety Rails 4-1. This is probably going to be a quick world, because there's not very many levels, and, well, they're all relatively easy for me, because I played these levels a lot as a kid. They're definitely some of the most fun. But you can set that off and go back into the background. Well, you're supposed to have gone into the background and get launched into the foreground again with that barrel there. But since there's no secrets in the foreground, we can just skip that. Yeah, I think I know where every single secret is for this entire world. Including this one right here. And these are minecart levels, except there's a new gimmick that it teaches you immediately with that line of bananas. You don't jump with the minecarts in this stage, and I already missed. Come on, I practiced this as a kid. I should know what I'm doing. Although this time, it's already blown up, so some of the level keeps track of what you've been doing. We don't need to go for that jigsaw piece again. It's just Kong letters that we need from the beginning, but there weren't none. So the first one's right there. And unlike the original trilogy of Donkey Kong Country games, there's no duplicate Kong letters. But there's the first bonus stage of this level. 24.4. Another fast one. Right. Make it to the minecart. The track breaks. Just jump the gap. Yeah, these are almost auto-scrollers. They're more auto-runners, as I did bring up with the first world. And it's one minecart stage that worked more similarly to the ones from the previous Donkey Kong Country games. Actually, I think you could jump off the minecarts in Donkey Kong Country 2, I believe. There weren't many there too. Also, secret right there. That's a very hard one to spot, but it is visible. Okay. We're getting there. A little over 13 seconds remaining. Some of the longer bonus stages right there. At this stage of the level, jump off the minecart after it's off the rails to grab that. Otherwise you end up in one of those barrels and it sends you forwards. That one auto sends you to the end. And I think that is... We've missed something! Huh, I thought I knew where everything was in this world. I'm going to need to replay that level. It might just end up being right at the beginning. It's right at the beginning, and I did it again. Great. One moment. I suppose we'll grab it next. We'll be right back on in. I probably don't even need to cut much of this world out, because it's so short. But it's before that first secret that I even mentioned. No? Not back here? Seems odd. I guess we didn't really do much exploring back here. Ah, that's where it is. Yeah. That tree is hollow, so I'll just get to the end again. We'll see if I can do the whole level in one run. Not off to a good start, but it'll be quick. And by quick, I mean I just made it to the end with that jigsaw piece. Okay, cool. On to level 2. My favourite level in the entire game, Grip and Trip. This is a fun one. It gives you Diddy Kong, but, I mean, it's a minecart level. So, yeah, that first jigsaw piece, I almost failed that. Free balloon. Easy K. Stop there for the bonus stage. I almost failed getting into the barrel there. Landed right on the jigsaw piece. Cool. Right, okay, and I missed the jigsaw piece, so let's just fall off there. It's one nice thing about those minecarts in this stage. You can actually just drop right off them. At almost any time. Yeah. Just a test. We've got plenty of extra lives. Right, and you can actually roll over that gap. We do have to retry this, but we don't need to go up there for that jigsaw piece, or the coins really, because we've got too many already. And over the course of this series, we're probably going to max it out regardless. Go for the K, do not miss that. Skip the bonus game. Jump off the enemy to get the jigsaw piece. Now we're climbing again. Second minecart going at the same time for the O. And now we're underneath the train. That was a short ride, but we'll be seeing more of that mechanic later. And by later I mean right now. And we have to drop off this one into a minecart. And now we go between the two. Drop down to get the N and a jigsaw piece. For some reason they put both of those on the same point. Jump off the enemy into the background for a couple extra things, including the G. So that's necessary for 100% completion. And that is my favourite level of the game. I just like the train mechanic that never reappears again. Yeah, spoilers for the rest of the game, that train never shows up again. Let's grab the key and leave. That unlocks that level, which is another short way of getting to the boss. You just have to do 3 levels in this world to reach the boss, that's it. Anyway, on to 4-3, bombs away. Another minecart level. Are you sensing a theme yet? Easy lot of bananas there. And a coin. Right, let's go right on into the minecart. This time we're in the minecart, so the minecart jumps with us. Unlike the previous 2 levels. But we needed to jump off that mole to get there. Small jump there, just tap the button. Large jump, small jump, duck. Jump right there to get the O, and Wherever you can, do small jumps rather than large jumps. But here, do large jumps to cross the gaps. We can avoid those enemies if we need to, but go down here, at the down sign. That would prompt us to duck, but... yeah, there was a banana on screen letting you know that there was a secret there. Duck to avoid that. Small jump. Grab the jigsaw piece and duck again to avoid hitting your head on that. Barely got that. It worked. Now the track's being destroyed in front of us again. Make sure to duck. Jump over the messed up rails, and into a loop-de-loop, if you can call it that. Why is there even a circular bit of track? And circular in that orientation, and not the, like a roundabout sort of way. That does a bonus stage right at the end of the level. Right, okay, this is going to be quick. Like, this whole world is going by really quick. World 3 is really long, but World 4 makes up for that by being really short. I think that's a different layout to some of the others. But there's the 5th jigsaw piece. And the end of the level. Okay, where's 4-4? Which level is it? There's 2 to go before the Kong letters. There's 4-5. Also now we've got a bit of a shortcut between there. So you can access the shop 2 different ways. But here is 4-4, Mole Patrol. Yes, there is a theme with all of these levels, and it's not just the cave theme. There's another bonus stage at the beginning. There's too many of these. But at least there's still nowhere near as many as Donkey Kong 64. That game had way too many bonus stages that took you right out of the action. Leave Revolver. But yes, the theme of this world is auto-scrollers, auto-runners, whatever they are. Not just minecarts, but also the rocket barrel here. In fact, this world has 2 rocket barrel stages. There's this one, and there's another one, which we're about to get into. Well, I say about to. It's after this level. Not the boss. Yeah. I don't know if I missed something there, but you can actually pop the mole's balloons. Dodge the crystals. There's the O. There's another jigsaw piece. Avoid the pickaxes too. They'll try to hit you with the pickaxes, and I missed, so we'll retry. Because I'm pretty sure that's the section where you actually need to defeat all of the enemies to get another jigsaw piece. Because here, the enemies are actually giving us some bananas. Yeah. And now we're following the train as it's gone off the rails and drilling its way through the mountain, or whatever this place is. It is kind of the mountain of EKI, I won't put there. Digging into. And I think we have... yeah, we're missing one. That explosion does nothing, but there's also a jigsaw piece right at the end again. Some extra coins. And we're about halfway through the game, and we haven't even got half the required number of coins, but we are going to end up hitting it, that required amount. On to 4-5, Crowded Cavern. Actually, this world only has like 5 levels. That's 1 less than the previous. But these levels are so much faster because they're auto-scrollers. Right, to get the first jigsaw piece, you want to go back after hitting that. That's one that I missed several times in previous playthroughs. Blow out the lanterns. A couple extra goodies. But yeah, this is another rocket barrel stage, so you've got to get good at those. Especially for this one, because I think this might actually be the hardest one in the entire game. Just for the last section. With the giant bat. It does leave us alone for a moment, but not for very long. Just make sure you dodge these. I wonder if anyone turned these levels into Geometry Dash levels. I've not played that game in a long time, but it's, for some reason it's been showing up in my recommendations again. But it's not exactly my kind of game. But yeah, now we have to dodge those while collecting a few things. And I missed the G. We have to stay low for both of the collectibles. I'd rather just take the loss than have to replay the entire stage again for all of the Kong letters. We can go high here and just drop to grab the G. I should have stayed high there. We don't need to grab the jigsaw piece at all. Oh. Unless we leave the level without completing it. That does reset our progress, but yeah, this is the hardest section. Just because we've also got to collect the Kong letters every time. The jigsaw piece wasn't too bad, I suppose, but making sure you're at the right point each time is a little awkward. Dodge up. Dodge low again. I should have gone straight up there. Yeah, this is probably where most of this episode's going. Yeah, the bat does actually follow you rather than stopping at specific points. Here we go. Stay up high for that. And that's the end of the level. Yeah, I failed at the end so many times there. Nothing hidden? We have to redo the entire level again because I missed one jigsaw piece. And unlike the original trilogy, they don't hide anything on the goal. It's the first one again. Great! And I actually did hit retry that time, so a little bit faster. Let's have a look around for it. Because we already grabbed the first jigsaw piece, which is right here. So, where could it be? It's right there. Okay, cool. We'll grab this, and then we'll make our way to the end again. The level's so good I had to play it twice. Just to beat it. With 100%. Anyway, I'll see you guys at the end. Okay, I made it to the end. Extra coins. Right, okay, there's only 2 more levels to go. It's been very quick today. And this is probably the most interconnected world map so far, with like 3 ways of getting to Cranky's shop. Anyway, on to Jagged Jewels. The 4th Kong letter level. Or I guess the 4th temple level. This time we do actually get Diddy. I remember this level. This'll have a... yeah, no jigsaw piece. Never mind. I thought it would. It's on a difficult one to get. Like that one. I knew one of those had something in it. Yeah, this is easy mode right now. Things are going to get much harder. I guess to practice it, I could go through with just DK. Even with all the mashy spike plates everywhere, it's not too bad, I suppose. We are down to 1 HP though. So this is where things get a little risky. Still. Yeah, I guess that would happen. And we're back at the beginning again! Great! Let's get back up to where we were. Okay, yeah, I definitely mistimed that. Falling rings. Oh, avoid the spike pillars. And we need to grab that from on top of that, which is easier when it's going down than when it's going up. Okay, that one's just a simple roll jump. In fact, I'd recommend doing the roll jump there rather than just a standard jump. I suppose I'll split this playthrough into 2 parts. Well, 2 major sections. The actual playthrough is still going up 1 world at a time. We're at 4. Right, there's the last jigsaw piece. Just a simple roll jump back to the barrel, sending you back to the pink orb. Not sure why it's pink, but I guess some of the crystals might have been pink here. Though the crystals in the previous level I think were blue, so... not exactly sure why it's pink. Yeah, even the crystals on the overworld are kind of a bluish grey. Anyway, onto the mole train. Another one of my favourite levels, but not the top. The top level. That still goes to 4-2. let's head right on in. But I guess we'll have a look at what the moles are doing this time, since we've got plenty of time for this. So the train driver wasn't even hypnotised for that entire thing. The moles were just doing that because they could. And just roll out of that to speed up the process. And now we play a bit of whack-a-mole. Stay on the one minecart that doesn't have its wheels fall off, and just roll jump again. Onto phase 2 of the of whack-a-mole. Make sure not to hit them as they're coming out of the bananas, because they will damage you. I got lucky with that platform again. Do the same thing again. And now it's even darker. I did not see that the one I was standing on was going to do that. But you can just about see when they're doing that. Gets this one again. And now it catches up to the front of the train, and we're dealing with the driver already. Bop him on the head a couple of times. How did I miss that? It just kept bouncing off. I think one more hit should do. Yep. There we go. That's all of World 4 done. It just barely stops on the edge of the platform there, not of the rails. Right, let's deal with this enemy. Right, that is World 4 done. We'll see where World 5 is next. My personal least favourite world. And that would be the forest. We'll see you guys next time. I've been Luke, playing Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong Country Returns on original hardware. You'd think I'd be used to that by now. Signing out.